So yeah, this is Ozma here with Internal, and two of us will be narrating this week's Battle of the Week with Platinum and Heatherstar in the Wi-Fi Ubers tier.
Okay, so we start off with Platinum sending in her Kyogre and Heather Star bringing in her Deoxys speed form. She goes straight to setting up her spikes and Stealth Rock as Platinum doesn't really have any spinners, so that's what she does.
She takes a burn pretty early on, but it doesn't matter. She kind of foddered it for the sake of hazards. I think she knew there wouldn't be much use later on. She goes for the obvious counter to Kyogre and Palkia, and Platinum goes to especially defensive Jirachi to take whatever hit.
And Heather doesn't really switch out here. She can't really risk a paralysis on any of her Pokemon. She goes with the Surf, which is boosted with the Rain up.
She does a fair amount, and now Platinum's hoping to get some flinch hacks, as well as set up her own SR.
Unfortunately, Heather gets a Parahax, so she couldn't finish off Jirachi there. This allows Platinum to Para-Flinch hacks her way through and get some residual recovery from leftovers as well.
Luckily for Heather though, coming up, she only takes one flinch, so Jirachi doesn't survive.
Yeah, and Surf had just enough power to take out Jirachi.
Platinum goes to the Arceus Dragon, probably for a judgment to revenge against Palkia, but instead tries to set up with a sub, maybe Calm Mind, not sure yet.
I'm hoping for paralysis hacks too. And Heather, she can't really risk letting Arceus Dragon set up, so she stays in.
And Habenberry saves the Palkia and allows it to finish off the Arceus with a Spatial Link.
Yeah, that was really surprising having Habenberry. I thought it was actually Expert Belt, but it wasn't. And Platinum goes with Toxicroak here. She's going for some paralysis here so she can safely set up her substitute. And luckily she does get substitute going on her, I think, 4th try.
Yeah.
And since Toxicroak isn't really recovering any HP from leftovers, we can probably say that Toxicroak is holding the item Life Orb.
Yep. Relying on dry skin only.
Yeah.
And she finally gets the para at about 18% of health, so it took a while, but...
And it uses Ice Punch and it probably also has Cross Chop and Sucker Punch as its other moves.
Yeah.
Just because Drain Punch and Ice Punch is illegal together.
She goes to Kyogre here, just so to take... Oh, well, Toxicroak has no super effective hit, so she knows she's going to survive. Cross Chop still does a pretty big amount of damage.
And Kyogre doesn't recover from any leftovers either, so it's probably holding a Choice Specs or a Choice Scarf as its item.
She predicts a Sucker Punch here and goes to the Arceus. Had Toxicroak used another Cross Chop or sub, Platinum could have had the battle, but I guess better safe than sorry.
Yeah. She switches to her Arceus Wall, which is her Giratina. Can't really risk letting the Arceus set up with Swords Dance. As it also didn't get leftovers recovery, it's probably holding the item Life Orb.
She pulls Arceus back to risk not getting burned, but Giratina goes for Dragon Tail instead, which
she sacrifices her.
Does give Heather a free switch now, which she'll use for Dialga here.
And she sacrificed her Kyogre because I was already weakened, couldn't have done much. Predicting a Draco Meteor on Giratina, she sends in a Toxicroak, but unfortunately it wasn't Draco Meteor, it was actually Dragon Tail.
Yep, so now Platinum knows that Dialga is likely a bulk up set, and is going to try sub it.
And she's practically stuck right now because none of her Pokemon can actually stop bulk up Dialga, so she has to cripple it somehow, so she does that with Leech Seed. And Heather can't really switch to either her Rayquaza or Arceus safely, so she decides to stay in even being crippled by Leech Seed, and now Will-O-Wisp burning it.
She misses a Dragon Tail here. Wasn't a huge game changer, but still like a wee bit inconvenient, as that's 2 PP kind of down the drain. She goes for the rest just to quickly get rid of the burn.
And
she gets phased out into Rayquaza.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Rayquaza comes in on Giratina instead of Arceus, so that hurt Platinum too.
Platinum has to sacrifice a Shaman here. and for the sake of lowering, requires a special attack.
And sending in her Kyogre safely.
She goes back to Dialga here in order to take Scald, or stop it from setting up.
Yeah.
At -2 Rayquaza won't be able to do much, as Kyogre is physically bulky.
And now, I'm guessing Heather Star is trying to go for a Dialga sweep here, being able to take both Giratina and Kyogre. But the Dragon Tail brings in the Giratina, and now Giratina can just safely phase out Dialga. As Dialga unfortunately is unable to get a Dragon Tail on Giratina. And luckily, Heather Star gets her Rayquaza in up on her Giratina again, and unfortunately Draco Meteor misses, which was a huge game changer as she could have ended the game right there. And Will-O-Wisp inflicting Rayquaza cripples its physical attack in half. So now Rayquaza is unable to take down Kyogre as well with Outrage. And since it's crippled by the burn and life orb damage, she can't switch it out as Delbrak is on the field.
She goes to the Outrage and it takes off half the health of Kyogre thanks to the burn, and now Kyogre can restart all that damage.
I think she should have gone for a Draco Meteor instead, even though it probably wouldn't have KO'd it. Because Kyogre was most likely physically defensive.
Both sleeping pokes are out on the field here. Dialga does have the advantage in terms of its resistances.
But Kyogre also has its huge physical defense. So I didn't understand why Heather went for a Dragon Tail there without going for a setup. Well, actually that was with Sleep Talk. That makes sense. Never mind.
Just going to start off a Sleep Talk battle, and Dialga gets the first setup.
Heather did have her Arceus left over, but she probably can't safely switch that out.
Might have been a better idea to switch it in first, as Kyogre was asleep, and you could have got like a free Swords Dance off.
Yeah.
I mean, with no boost, Scald wouldn't have done a whole lot, but then again there was the 30% chance for burn. Even so, it probably would have been better to use the Arceus first.
Yeah, it probably would have been better to switch to Arceus right away and go for a Swords Dance, extreme speed. Weaken Kyogre more. Probably go for a 2H KO while it's sleeping. And now it's a crucial moment for Heather Star, as she has to get a Dragon Tail with those bulk ups to finish off Kyogre. Or somehow weaken it for Arceus to take it down. Yeah.
The score is currently 2-1 to Heather.
Instead of going for a Dragon Tail, she goes for the rest, so she can use Dragon Tail with priority from Sleep Talk, because Dialga is faster. So she has to get a Dragon Tail, probably 2 of them with rest Talk. But she doesn't get it the first time. And nor the second time either. So
it really kind of costs her the game. It's a bit of bad luck.
Yeah. And now Platinum wins because Arceus can't really do anything to Kyogre anymore, because Kyogre is really defensive.
She tried to set up, but Scald is too strong at this point.
Yes, that's
finishes off the game.
Was a really close battle in my opinion, and it could have gone either way. Both players were unlucky at points, where Platinum, she was unlucky when her Jirachi was unable to paraflinch the Palkia, right?
Yeah.
And this allowed Heather's Palkia to survive the judgment from Arceus with just enough HP. With
the Arceus back.
Yeah. And the other unlucky moments were when Giratina's Dragon Tail kept bringing in the Rayquaza instead of Arceus. This allowed Rayquaza to Draco Meteor freely. But at the same time, Heather was also very unlucky when the Rayquaza missed that really crucial game-changing Draco Meteor on Giratina.
Yeah.
And
as well as the finale there with no Dragon Tail.
yeah, no Dragon Tail in the end. That really cost the game for Heather.
Alright, well,
But it was a really great battle, and so I would like to congratulate both players.
I hope you've enjoyed listening to Eternal and I and watching this battle, and hope to see you next Battle of the Week. Thanks.